We as fans of The Boys are very fortunate to have a lot of different options for The Boys action figures. In this video, let's go over all the ones I believe are the best ones out there, some other ones coming out in the future soon, and of course a ton of toy photography. So I think we can pretty much all unanimously agree that The Boys is just one of the best TV shows ever. It's just so incredibly objectively good. It's such a good show. And season 4 so far has been great, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And us fans of The Boys have been pretty fortunate to have quite a few great options for action figures. I've got a bunch of them right here, and in my opinion, I've got the best ones. And I don't know, you'll have to tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think I've got the best ones so far right here.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So I've got every single currently released Mafex The Boys figure by Medicom. I mean, I always call it Mafex. I've had people try to correct me and say it's Mafex. I've heard other people say Mafex. What do you think? Is it Mafex? Mafex? Mafex sounds better to me. But I've got every single one of them right here, and I actually just got these three. I've had Homelander since he released. I just purchased all three of these on Whatnot, which is a fantastic app. Kind of like eBay, whatever. It's a secondhand app, but it's all about collectibles, stuff like that. And I love Whatnot. It's really great. If you want to get something good on Whatnot, head to the link I have in the description. I've actually got a $15 off coupon if you use the link down there. It'll save you 15 bucks on your first purchase. So definitely go head to Whatnot. And you know what else is really great about the fact that I bought these on Whatnot? I sell my figures, old figures, on Whatnot as well, which that kind of built up, and I was able to get these figures all basically for free, just with money that I made from selling older figures to buy these guys. And you know, these guys aren't necessarily very cheap either, so that was a pretty cool thing to be able to get these basically kind of free-ish. I'm very excited to open these up because now I can have them all. But have them all for now, because coming up on pre-order, we've got the Deep and Soldier Boy, which are available, and I'm very excited to get those guys. I'll have the link in the description if you want to pre-order those guys. Also, we've got A-Train and Maeve coming very soon. Those are not up for pre-order yet, but they are coming. Mafex is not the only ones doing it. There's some other brands too. Good Smile has also put out a Figma version of Homelander, which sometimes I hesitate a little bit with Figma, but I have seen the Figma in person, and he looks pretty fantastic, and I've actually really only heard good things. And also NECA has been putting out quite a few as well. Homelander, Starlight, and Black Noir as well. And if you're into 1/6 scale, there's a couple figures too. So yeah, we have been blessed. We've got plenty to choose from for the Boys figures, but let's open these guys up and let's do a bunch of toy photography in this video. I've got an idea for every single one of these 4 figures, so we've got a lot to do in this video, so let's go. So besides the characters I just named and what figures we're getting, what else do you think we should get as far as the Boys stuff? Should we get maybe a Stormfront or a lamplighter? Or I mean, I guess pretty obvious ones would be like Huey or MM or Kimiko. I guess I'm very curious to know if Mafex would want to make figures like Huey. They're not quite so, they're great characters, but not quite so toyetic. That's a word, right? Either way, I'm definitely up for getting them because I want just about everybody, especially the Deep. I cannot wait to get the Deep. Okay, and here we are. We've got all the boys. Well, we don't have all the boys. Let's start with Homelander because I've had him a while, and man, let's start with Homelander. You guys are the real heroes. This figure is fantastic. This was actually in my top 5 figures of 2022. This figure is everything you would expect from Mafex and even more. And like, I've used this figure quite a bit since then, and all of the joints and everything are still just so wonderfully perfect. And the likeness on Anthony Starr is just fantastic. By the way, last year when I posted this toy photo, the Boys actual legitimate thing commented on it, and then they shared it, and then Anthony Starr himself shared it as well. And he was like, "I see you, Mr. Dork," or something. Like, that was probably one of the biggest fangirl moments I've had on social media. And even look at the beautiful wired cape, everything you need there. Like, come on. Yeah, this is just freaking wonderful figure. Comes with a decent amount of stuff, including a couple of alternate heads. One of them where he's very angry, one of them where he's just pretty stoic, along with the normal smiling one, which was my favorite, of course. This is great for laser vision, stuff like that. This is right here is the normal chest where you can have it either undone or not undone. And then he's just got a bunch of hands, including some pointer hands, some relaxed hands, some open hands, some thumbs up. No crazy accessories with Homelander though. I would have loved maybe like a cup of milk or maybe some laser beam effects. The other figures have better accessories than he does, surprisingly. Oh, here's Black Noir, and actually right off the bat when I felt him, I was surprised with how heavy he was. You know what I mean? You pick up a figure, you're like, this feels good. This feels really good. And that's kind of the way I felt with him. And he is probably the most simplistic character design-wise. You know, he's just kind of like black suit, which isn't a bad thing, he looks cool. And usually figures with more simplistic designs have a lot more opportunity for articulation because there's a lot less holding them back. Like Power Rangers are always like the best figures to pose because they're just like naked suits basically. And that's kind of what he is. He's very muscular, but I feel like I'm gonna be able to pose him around a lot. You know, you've always got very basic, stoic posing like normal Black Noir, or you've also got very season 4 Black Noir kinds of poses you could do. Oh yeah, you know you've got a great figure on your hands when you can put them in this position. This is always like the pose that's always like the deciding factor. Is this great articulation or not? And that was easy too. I didn't really have to put a whole lot of effort into that. But Noir actually comes with a bunch of stuff. We've got right here just a little short sword blade you can stick right on his back, which that's really cool. So if you wanted to take this whole back piece off, you could switch it with this one that has 2 smaller knives on the back too. Kind of cool. I think I like the other one better. This one actually kind of sits a little weird on him. Like that is really high up, right? That seems a little bit off. He has multiple different tea related accessories, like a tea cup, you know, green tea. He's got a tea ladle hand that's already on there, so you can just kind of switch that out onto his hand. He's got a tea crusher thing to crush some tea leaves. Kind of looks like a makeup brush. And then we've got a little tea cup. It's cool because it's true to his character. Honestly, stuff I'll never use. This might just come in handy for something else. So there's that. Love this. This is just a little bottle of soda with a straw from that one part where he was, you know, drinking soda. I love this. This is actually a great accessory that I would love to use on other occasions too. Like this is great. Got a severed head here, which I'm pretty sure this is one of the heads from that like group of terrorists he just goes and wipes out, I think. So that's kind of cool. The best accessory, I don't know, maybe of all of these figures is the little stuffed bunny right here. Come on, that is just so great. And it's in the perfect position to where it looks like he's holding it. And God, I love this. Another accessory that will just be really great for just other stuff too. I think this is really great. Also just like a ton of other hands, like just tons of hands, which is great, including these 2 really cool hands that have the blade coming right through the fingers. Like those are super cool. At first I was thinking like, man, this is probably the one I want the least, but this is just such a good figure. Next, we've got Starlight, and Starlight looked great. I've always really loved the character Starlight. I always thought she had a great character design. She's very action figure-like, you know, which obviously has translated very well. And she's got some nice soft goods on the cape too. Is it wired? Yes, it is. Sure is. Awesome. And she doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories either, but just about what you need. But in general, she just looks great as a figure. She definitely looks more, I think, how she looks in maybe season 1 or maybe even season 2, but it looks just like Starlight. And she comes with 2 other faces here too that look equally as good. A nice smiley one and then a nice stoic normal one. Fantastic, great work. And the hair too is done perfectly, I think, too, in the point where you can still move. You're still gonna get a little bit of restriction because of the hair, but I think it was done well. While I was watching the show the other night, I was thinking to myself, like, what are Starlight's powers? Because she doesn't just control electricity, she just controls like electric lighting. Right? Like that's it. I'm very confused of what her powers are actually defined as. But she comes with some power thingies for her hands, for her Starlight powers, so that's cool. And then she also comes with a microphone, which I think that's kind of cool. It's also another accessory that can be used elsewhere too. I love when action figures come with accessories that I can use with any figure, not just the ones that it came with. Thanks, Starlight. Right then, love. Last but not least, we've got Billy Butcher, and with that, we're gonna kill that Homelander. Sorry about that. Seriously though, Butcher's probably like my favorite character in the show, next to Homelander, but he's just so incredibly enjoyable to watch, and Karl Urban is just so good. Anyway, this figure comes with a soft goods wired, may I tell you, wired by the way, jacket. Like, come on, that is so awesome. Okay, we should be able to just pop this right off. Okay, much easier when you pop the hands off. And there we go, pretty awesome. This is such a cool jacket. I'm sure this would also look great on another figure. It's just really cool. The soft goods jacket is not only cool just because it's a soft goods jacket, but it also gives you the opportunity to have multiple different looks, you know? Just a normal Butcher with just a normal black shirt. Man, and the likeness is just so good. Like, that is Karl Urban right there. And he also comes with a little psychotic smiling extra head too, which, man, is so idiosyncratic for him. Like, this is just perfect. Butcher comes with some good stuff, including, classic crowbar, also a little taser poker thing, cattle prod, whatever you want to call this. And that's pretty cool. Plus, he's got this fantastic sniper rifle, machine gun, whatever you want to call it. This is great. This is just a really nice gun. The more action figure guns we get, the better. He also comes with a nice little watch that you can put on him. I don't remember the significance of the watch. Can anyone tell me? Did it belong to, like, somebody? And last but certainly not least, we have got a soup baby. Come on, like, this is just so great. He's got laser ready eyes and everything, and you can put him in the pose because he's got a little hole right on the tuchus right there, so you can have him hold it and shoot the lasers and everything. It's so great. Oh God, I dropped the baby. Oh, should I even bother asking the W or L question for this video? I mean, I feel like they're just so obviously just a big fat W. These are amazing figures. I'm legitimately super pumped to have these guys, and I cannot wait to get the rest of them. Yes, W or L, but what do you think? Are you gonna grab these guys? The last time I checked, there was like a big lot for sale on Whatnot. It might be gone already, but definitely check it out. And of course, I'll have the link to pre-order the other ones too. Let's get into some toy photos. I've got a lot of stuff to shoot, so let's go and get into it right now. Okay, so here is the most simple shot that I've got right now. We've got Black Noir sitting by himself, surrounded by all of his friends. A couple stuffies from my wife's vast collection. Just to fill out the background, we've got plenty of friends here. Those tiny little Care Bears back there are perfect. I've got a very simple lighting setup, and that's kind of how it looks in camera. Shutter speed is 500, it just kind of worked for where the lighting is right now. F2.5 to get a little bit more open range going on. And I'm gonna probably hold this light over here as Venom comes into the scene. I did already take one pretty good shot, so if he messes it up, it's okay. Venom! Anyway, I'll hold the light over like that to get some lighting from above, just to make sure he looks pretty good. And I think it's gonna be just fine, despite Venom. So, here we go. Okay, so for the next shot, I'm down in downtown Cohoes, New York, as always. And so we've got Billy Butcher, and he's not giving Superman an ounce of his time, and he's flipping him off. Well, it's just a fist right now, but I'm gonna make it so he's actually flipping him off when I edit the photo. I'm also gonna stick one of his other hands in the shot somehow, and maybe I can use that to help edit it. We will see. I've got Superman on this little Mezco Superman stand. I use that all the time. It's a great stand. And that's really it with the shot. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's towards the end of the day, so I've still got some pretty decent lighting, and it's looking pretty good in camera. My settings are on screen right now. My shutter speed's a little bit high just because it's so bright outside, but that's really it. So let's go and take this shot. Okay, so here we are, next shot, and Homelander is lasering somebody's head off who is opposing his views, whatever. No more soups. Just whipped up that sign really quick. And I've actually got a whole tutorial on how to make signs like this. This is very simple. And oh man, the lighting is getting really strong, which is great. And so I'm gonna use the same process, bouncing some light back like that. You can tell, huge difference. So my settings are about the same. You probably can't see, but shutter's a little bit faster because it is brighter now. And I'm going to be using some blood. This is just water and food coloring. And I'm going to drop a little bit of water using this straw right on where his head is. And also levitate his head over there. Edit a little bit in Photoshop and we'll see how it comes out. It'll look a little bit similar to this shot here that I've done before. Let's go, let's see how it comes out. Okay, last shot of the video with Starlight. This one's gonna be awesome with some pyrotechnics. Let me show you what I got going on. So, Starlight is over here with an incredibly simple setup. She's just there. This is actually the stand that came with Billy Butcher. There's a bug right there. And she's floating a little bit, slightly crooked. I might fix that. I've got one loom cube over here. If you need one of those, got that linked in the description as always. And I've got my camera set up nice and low right here. I'm actually gonna do 2 different shots with sparklers. I'm actually gonna use these longer neon sparklers, which are really cool. I have a whole tutorial on sparklers and pyrotechnics and stuff. If you want any of that, I'll have that linked in the description too if you wanna learn a little more about this. But basically, I'm just going to rain down around her a bunch of different sparks and take a ton of different photos and make it look like how she does, you know, when the sparks are flying around her, like in the show. And I'm gonna do one with a fast shutter speed and one with a very slow, long exposure to get some cool, different effects going on. So I'll share my settings on both shots, and that's pretty much it. It's gonna be pretty straightforward. Just raining down some sparks on Starlight. These are my settings for the first shot. I've got her at a 1000 shutter speed, which is gonna look, I think, pretty good with these cool sparks, and hopefully I'll get some good bokeh with that f1.8 with the sparkler. And yeah, let's go take a ton of shots right now, and then we'll do the second one after. Okay, here are my settings for the long exposure version. I've got 0.4 seconds for the shutter speed, and I've got an f6.3, so much wider aperture, much slower shutter speed. Hopefully I'll get some really cool long exposure sparks bouncing off the ground, stuff like that. Really excited. So yeah, let's go and take this shot. Hopefully this one looks good too. What do you think? Are these the best figures we've got for the boys right now, or are you more a fan of the NECA ones, or heck, maybe even those Star Ace 1/6 scale ones? Either way, I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm definitely excited for the rest of this season of the boys. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for getting this far. This is like the longest video I've ever done. These photos, along with everything else, will be posted on Instagram at Sirdork, on Twitter at Sirdork730, and of course on TikTok at Sirdork730. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.